Hello and welcome to the franchise After Dark. It's a rare nighttime recording, and it's episode 13 here, and we're covering The Matrix by the Wachowski sisters. And don't laugh; they've always been women.
I'm not. I'm just saying. It says they're still credited as the brothers. So I didn't know if you were being serious or not.
No, I'm very serious. They're lovely ladies.
Because it says on the page. It says on the page.
Sure. I know, of course, because they're credited in the movie as the Wachowski brothers.
Right.
Yeah. It's that kind of weird thing.
So are we going to refer to them as the Wachowski sisters, just to get it straight?
I don't know. They go by. I think they go just by the Wachowskis now.
Oh, all right. That's easier.
So we can just do that. No.
Yeah, because I didn't honestly. I didn't mean any disrespect by that. I just didn't. I didn't know. You know, because they're not labeled that. So all right. The Wachowski twins.
Sure. Why not? All right, but first we're going to do a little franchise update. And I wanted to do this because 3 TV series were announced within an hour of each other last week that are all based on movies.
Great.
So I looked at that, and then there's a section in the Hollywood Reporter every week called 7 Days of Deals. And I also found it striking how many of the deals this week were regarding franchises.
Cool. I think I might know the TV shows, but I'm ready anyway. Let's go.
What do you think they are?
Well, I think no. I shouldn't lie. I saw our Twitter feed. Didn't you put it on there?
Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so you're reading our Twitter feed
every once in a while. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the time, I'm not interested, but I saw that and it was funny.
Okay.
But actually, I only remember one of them, so there you go.
All right, so we have Amazon Prime adapting The Departed.
That's the one I remember.
Yeah, because that movie wasn't long enough.
Dan has never been a fan of that movie.
No, and I'm a big Scorsese guy.
I've always been a big fan of that movie. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a movie I am a fan of, Snatch. Crackle, the app Crackle, is developing it into a TV show starring Rupert Grint and Ed Westwick.
I know the name Rupert Grint, but I can't place him.
He's Ron from the Harry Potter franchise.
Oh, all right. That's why. Yeah, okay.
And Ed Westwick, he's I'm Chuck Bass. That's from Gossip Girl. He's Gossip Girl guy. Yeah. Good
Have fun with that reference.
Yeah, I will. 5 people will laugh at that. I know it. And lastly, for Epix, which is a network I'm not even sure I have, and that's Get Shorty, starring Ray Romano and Chris O'Dowd.
Okay. I've never liked that movie.
Oh, that movie's fine.
I don't like that movie. I think it's fucking stupid. And Travolta, that was his post-operative Pulp Fiction film.
Yeah, but that was an okay one. I feel like he didn't go off the rails until Phenomenon and Michael.
Which were all like in the same year.
No. I believe
96.
I believe Get Shorty's 95.
It is.
Phenomenon's 96. Michael's 97.
No,
I believe so.
I don't know. Well, whatever. Between 95 and 97, it's all off the rails. Anyway,
hey, he pulled it back, Robert Shapiro.
But I like Chris O'Dowd. That's the Irishman from This Is 40, right?
Yeah, and
a bunch of others.
Christopher Guest's Family Tree. He's a good actor. And the IT Crowd, a good BBC show.
So we got Snatch, Get Shorty, and The Departed.
That's right, and that's among the many, many other upcoming TV series based on movies.
Now, of those 3, one is a franchise.
Get Shorty, yeah, we'll cover that on the show because we'll have to watch Be Cool, I guess.
Oh, then forget it.
No, I saw that movie. It's terrible.
You did?
Yeah, I did because I liked Get Shorty, dude.
Ugh. Oh,
I
boy.
fucking watched Be Cool. Christina Milian's all over that movie. It's terrible.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That Snatch thing could be okay though, provided it has the correct writer. I like those two actors.
Are they playing the two guys that Jason Statham and what's
Yeah,
the other?
they're Jason Statham and Brad Pitt, but I can't remember which is which now.
Oh.
Yeah.
So one's playing Mickey the boxer, and the other one's playing one half of the boxing promoters. Because remember,
I
movie
know.
really.
I know. There's another boxing guy, but
Yeah, Tommy, who's really successful career now. He's been on Boardwalk Empire. He played Al Capone.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. But
me neither. But I don't think that part's been cast yet. I think I can't remember which is which, but one of them's playing Mickey and one of them's playing Turkish.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that I remembered Turkish. That's stuff.
Very good. It's one of my favorite names in movies. I love that.
My parents named me Turkish. Yeah. Something like that. Anyway. All right. You want to hear 7 days of deals?
Sure.
All right. Here we go. They're trying again with the Chronicles of Narnia. They're going to do a fourth one, The Silver Chair. That's in the works.
Okay.
TriStar. All right.
TriStar still around?
Yeah, they exist.
Boy.
Here we go. Zoe Kravitz has joined the cast of Warner Brothers' Harry Potter spinoff Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I thought that movie already was made.
Yeah, but I think they've already committed to 3 of them, so I guess she's going to be in some other ones.
Okay.
Yeah. Zoe Kravitz, she had to work hard to get where she is now. Okay.
She was in the X-Men for a half a second.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember which character. What's that character?
She played Angel. I remember it.
All right.
Ben Whishaw will join Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel Miranda in the Mary Poppins reboot, which we've already talked about.
Yeah, I love that.
But how about that? They got Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's that. What are you talking about? You're so out of the loop, dude.
Wait, is he? Don't tell me. Is he the Alexander Hamilton guy?
Yeah, he's the Hamilton.
Okay, see, I got it.
Yeah, so he'll be hip-hopping and skip-scopping all over that movie. Yeah.
Oh, man. Based on one of the greatest books ever written. Did you ever read that book, Alexander Hamilton?
Oh, no. But he did on a plane, and it inspired him to write a classic musical.
Well, we don't have to get into that. I don't want to deal with that. Ugh.
Hey, I fucking will. Come at me on Twitter. I've listened to the music from Hamilton. It's terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I love hip-hop, and I like Broadway, so leave me alone.
No, I thought you were going to...
I'm talking to the Twitter people, all right? I know anytime you talk shit about Hamilton, you're going to get feedback.
Right, that's why I said I don't want to get into it because I don't feel like dealing with the blowback.
And I'm saying I'll deal with the blowback. Come at me.
Go ahead. I read the book. You heard the music. So there you go. Ron Chernow. Sure, he's thrilled. Well, he's getting royalties, I'm sure. So
probs, yeah. Although maybe not. Maybe they don't have to say it's based on the book because it's based on someone's life.
No, but yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. What a fucking travesty. All right, anyway, Ben Whishaw taking some time off of his role as Q in the Bond movies.
Oh, is that who that guy is?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe he's Dick Van Dyke in that thing. Anyway, Alicia Silverstone will star in the next installment of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid franchise, The Long Haul. I didn't know they were still making those.
I didn't know she was still alive.
Oh. Yeah, she's super vegan. She does, vegan cookbooks, I think.
Oh, I guess I was kind of clueless about that.
Good one. As if. All right. The Antoine Fuqua. You know that guy?
Of course I know.
Yeah. He's in talks to helm a new take on Scarface for Universal.
As you know, I actually have liked a few of Antoine Fuqua's movies.
What's he done?
Well, I'm a big fan of Training Day.
Oh, that's a good movie, yeah.
He also did a movie I watched on television because I was like, Hey, it's got the man in it. It's got Denzel, and I thought it was really good. The Equalizer.
Yeah, he's one of these directors. Like Denzel at this point is like, I only work with 3 people, and one of them jumped off a bridge. So Antoine Fuqua is one of those people. I'm actually sort of semi-excited about that upcoming Magnificent Seven remake.
So am I. I hate admitting that, but I am.
Yeah, no, that could be cool.
The cast is amazing. Peter Sarsgaard's the villain. And I'm so glad you brought that up because, real quick, I've seen the preview several times since I've been to the theaters, and it has so far what is currently my favorite caveat in a rating right now that I had never seen before.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
That movie is rated PG-13 for the usual, violence, this and that, but guess what else for?
What?
Historical smoking.
That's great. Well, they always put up now cigarette smoking, but historical smoking is funny. It's like there's smoking in this movie, but you gotta understand, they smoked back then.
You might see a corncob pipe, but it doesn't mean go out and buy one, kids.
I feel like Chasing Amy should be rated R for historical smoking because they're just like in 1997 smoking in New Jersey, which was a thing. Yeah.
They should retroactively re-rate every movie post anti-hatred of all things tobacco. So basically re-rate every movie post, 1990? I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
Didn't get really... Anyway, yeah. Okay. So Fuqua. All right. So he's doing...
Yeah, he's doing Scarface. All right. The Lego Ninjago movie has signed Jackie Chan, Michael Pena, Dave Franco, Justin Theroux, Fred Armisen, and Olivia Munn to its voice cast.
I couldn't be more excited about that one.
The Lego Ninjago movie. Because definitely you hire Jackie Chan and Olivia Munn for their voices.
Yeah. I mean, Jackie Chan going to lend his martial arts expertise to nothing.
Yeah,
I guess.
A cartoon.
Cartoon.
Oh, actually, I used to watch as a kid. There was a cartoon called The Jackie Chan Adventures.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I watched like every episode of that. Yeah.
Okay.
This is our age difference, dude. This was like 1998. I was 12. I love Jackie Chan.
Right. I was 20.
There you go.
Didn't give a shit. I was catching the art house premiere of Breaking the Waves.
Ooh, baby. I probably was too, actually. But,
Dan Ehrenberg, 12-year-old sneaking into Breaking the Waves.
Well, I've always told you, I don't know if I've told this on the podcast, but the best thing about me that I remember, like based on my film taste at the time, was going to see Pokemon the first movie in theaters and then sneaking into Michael Mann's The Insider.
You might have mentioned that, but that's okay. That deserves a second mention.
Yeah, that was me back then.
There you go.
Okay. Lastly, we have Aquaman and Game of Thrones star Jason Momoa is in talks to star in a remake of The Crow.
Oh, boy. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
He does kind of look the part.
Yeah, fine, but, like, what a weird movie to remake. I mean, what... Okay, all right. Is that... I mean, that movie is... I was never a big fan of it. I never really cared about it either way, but it's...
I love that movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely got a huge kind of following, and I don't... Okay.
There's so many bad sequels. That'll be fun to cover on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one with David Boreanaz and Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Crow. All right, you want to hop into The Matrix?
Or hop out.
Oh,
yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Hey, do you remember what... before we start, do you remember the ad campaign for The Matrix?
No. I don't. I mean, maybe if you refresh my memory, it'll click, because I was obviously around and watching stuff like crazy back then. But I don't really remember the ad campaign. No.
Here's what I remember, and I was excited about this movie.
I was not.
They really placed an emphasis in the ads on the website.
Mm.
This was sort of the beginning of that period where after every trailer you'd see, like, the URL at the end of it.
Sure.
Now it's sort of like the Twitter feed, I guess. But
okay.
Yeah, back then, and I remember the website was like the trailer told you nothing. And then the website was just whatisthematrix.com.
Okay.
And I remember going to that website and going, yo, what the fuck is the Matrix? This shit looks insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pumped, and I went opening weekend, and I loved it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you were like, not that this would have mattered. I mean, plenty of people love this movie. You were like 13, so this was like fucking mind-blowing on like even another level for you, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I wasn't even quite 13. I turned 13 a couple months later.
Okay.
This movie was incredible to me, and maybe like to a younger generation, watching The Matrix for the first time would have been like what watching Blade Runner was.
Oh, good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was amazing, and I lusted over those sequels, and I watched The Matrix a lot in high school.
Yeah.
But I watched it for the podcast 6 days ago, and that was the first time I'd seen it in probably 12 years.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it. Somebody, it had so much hype. So I believe I rented the video.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then subsequent years, I did see the second one in the theater, and I never saw the third one. So
you will this week,
right?
Yeah.
I guess over the years, if it was on television, I'd watch it, but I've never owned it. I think it's quite possible I've probably only had maybe two concentrated viewings. Like the first time I ever saw it, probably it would be fair to say I saw it at some point in the 2000s, and then this time, like fully paying, full on attention. But yet I felt like I knew it very well. So that's what tells me that I have seen it multiple times.
So that's interesting though, because your argument for the Christopher Reeve Superman for you was just sort of how vital you remember it being to a certain period in your life.
Definitely.
And we might be coming at this franchise from the opposite direction. Not that I have much like residual affection for the sequels without having rewatched them in a long time.
Right.
But the first one I certainly did, and I was nervous about rewatching it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about how that panned out soon.
So yeah, you want to get the stats out of the way? What
Sure. So this is The Matrix by Lily and Lana Wachowski, and released March 31st, 1999. I remember that was a thing too. Like the studio didn't quite have confidence in it, and that's part of why they did such an odd ad campaign. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Because they really felt like they needed to sell it, and they did a great job. Like, The Matrix is one of like Warner Brothers' great achievements in advertising.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
See, you say March '99, and you know what I immediately thought of?
What?
I remember still mourning the loss of Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, he died in either February or March of that year, and I remember taking that real hard because he's my favorite director. I don't think I've ever mentioned that, but he's great. And that's what I associate that first kind of few months of 1999 with was Kubrick dying, because that was really all over the place. And yeah, so
you were still sad.
Little factoid.
Sure.
Well, it's just interesting that that's what I think of. Like when you say that opening date, I probably didn't even know The Matrix was opening, or if I did, I just didn't care.
I was pumped. I believe if this opened March 31st, I probably went April 1st. Yeah. The budget was $63 million, my friend. You know, again, like the studio did not have that much confidence in it.
But you know, that budget was bigger than I thought it was when I looked at it retrospectively. I thought it had a smaller budget, and $63 million. I mean, it's 1999, so today, what do you think that would translate?
I still think
$100 million.
Yeah, but I still think like summer movies at the time, like the big bets by the studios,
sure.
were over $100 million.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, The Matrix ends up making $463.5 million.
Right. So,
gigantic hit. Number 5 for the year. You want to play that game?
This game, I think I can do.
Okay.
99. All right. Of course, the movies I'm thinking of are probably not even close.
What? Eyes Wide Shut, American Beauty, High Fidelity, right?
Fight Club.
Sure.
Yeah. Three Kings.
Yeah.
99 was a hell of a year. We've
Good
talked
year.
about
Good
that
movie year.
We've talked about that year many times. Okay, wait. 1999, top 5. Somewhere in that top 5 has got to be The Phantom Menace.
That is number 1 with a bullet.
Okay.
Number 1 with a blaster. Am I right?
Oh boy. Number 1 with a blaster that doesn't look real or good. Number 2, 3, and 4. 1999. Star Wars: Phantom Menace. There was something else big that year. Something else big that summer. And I can't put my finger on it. Help me out a little.
Okay. You want me to just tell you?
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, a little picture called Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
God, I saw that in the theater.
Me too. I think twice.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that shrug.
Number 3, Toy Story 2.
Oh, there you go. Sure.
And
okay, I still wasn't going to say that, though. So, all right.
And how about this? Number 2, the only non-franchise film on this list. The Sixth Sense.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Number 2. Man, that was a hit.
Yeah, it was.
Shit.
Yeah. I saw that in theaters, but way after all the hoopla. Like, it was in theaters that long. Like,
Yeah,
I remember.
No, I know. It was like until like Christmas.
Yeah, I saw it like late in '99 when it probably should have been gone, and I already knew the fucking ending and everything.
Nah, I saw that like not opening weekend, but early enough that I hadn't been spoiled yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
So The Matrix. Do you want to know how it came to Warner Brothers? Because that's fascinating.
Sure. Go ahead.
The Wachowskis had written a script in the early '90s called Assassins.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was made into a terrible Richard Donner movie.
That's the Julianne Moore flick, right?
Well, she's
Sylvester Stallone.
It's the Stallone Banderas film.
Right. Okay.
I say film. It's a movie.
I forgot that was Richard Donner.
Yeah.
Boy.
That is Richard Donner with a bullet.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers, there was like a bidding war for that movie because they thought it was going to be a huge hit.
Yeah, natural.
And Warner Brothers wanted it so bad that they bought 2 other Wachowski screenplays that had already been written. And those 2 screenplays were Bound and The Matrix.
Bound is a great movie.
It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it in umpteen years, but I remember thinking it was great.
It's sexy.
Jennifer Tilly.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Gina Gershon.
Sure. All right.
Madonna.
So that was the Wachowskis' directorial debut, and then that movie got enough critical praise, and they got to make The Matrix.
Right.
So Their first choice for Neo, the lead, was Johnny Depp.
Yep.
The studio did not want him. This was a pre-Pirates of the Caribbean world.
This is Sleepy Hollow, Johnny Depp. This is
not even yet. This is
that year was Sleepy Hollow. So right, you're right. Before, right in the planning stages, he was still.
They're like, what? You want the guy from Dead Man? No. So and the part of Neo was offered to Will Smith, who turned it down for Wild Wild West.
Good move.
Yeah. It was also turned down by Nicolas Cage, Brad Pitt, and Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Before going to Keanu Reeves. The part of Trinity was offered to Janet Jackson, who turned it down before Carrie-Anne Moss picked it up. And you know what? Happy accidents all around.
Really? Okay.
Well, I don't know about Keanu, but
we ready to get into it then?
Certainly we don't want Janet Jackson playing Trinity.
Hey, she's part of the Rhythm Nation.
1849.
1814, but that's okay.
Fuck, good call.
Yeah, well, that's a great song.
It is. I
like it's good.
Let me just before we go into our own opinions.
Yeah.
I can't just press enough. I didn't realize how important The Matrix is to America. I mean, listen to some of these.
Spawned a religion. I know that.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
You want to call it a religion? Sure, why not?
All right, listen to some of these stats.
Okay.
Nominated for 4 Oscars, won all of them.
Yep.
Editing, sound effects editing, and visual effects. Visual effects, by the way, for a $63 million movie in 1999, like the year of the Phantom Menace, the Matrix one.
They're better than that film's.
No, I agree, but
I know
it's impressive.
Right, I agree.
The American Film Institute ranked it number 66 on the most thrilling films of all time list, which I have pulled up on my laptop right now and is a shit show.
AFI is always amazing.
Yeah, this is one of their worst, though. This is incredible.
That's great.
Check it out.
Wait, what's the most thrilling film of all time? Can I guess?
Sure, guess.
I want 3 guesses at number 1.
Okay, do it up. I'm ready.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That is number 10.
Ooh, not bad, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
That is... Ooh, I have the top 25 pulled up, and I don't see Star Wars. It's probably on here somewhere.
All right, that's my second guess. I only get one more. The most thrilling film of all time.
Think thrilling.
Thrilling.
Sure.
Think thrilling. Think thrilling. I'm thinking of all decades, because AFI does do that. They do throw in, Gone with the Wind every once in a while.
Gone with the Wind, I believe, is number 4 on their list of the best films of all time.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
All right, thrilling. Can you give me a decade? Does that blow it, or
that blows it? I'm not.
Does it really?
No, it doesn't blow it. But all right, let's say it's in the 1960s.
Oh, yeah, that does not blow it. The most thrilling film of 1960s. I'm gonna just lean on. Even though thrilling wouldn't be the first thing I'd call it. 2001.
No.
Bullet.
No, it's Psycho.
Oh.
Great film. I don't know about thrilling.
It is a great film.
Yeah. No, it's kind of thrilling, I guess. That Bernard Herrmann or whatever. We'll cover that on the podcast.
Bernard Herrmann or whatever.
Yeah. Jaws is number 2, by the way, and that might be my choice.
Yeah, for thrilling, sure.
Yeah. Number 25, Titanic. Okay. Here we go. Empire magazine ranks The Matrix number 39 on their list of the best films of all time.
Okay.
The Matrix is in the National Film Registry.
Wow.
Joss Whedon, noted filmmaker and great writer Joss Whedon.
And one of your heroes.
And one of my heroes has said it is his favorite film.
Of all time?
Of all time.
Jesus.
Yeah, The Matrix.
We are covering a monster right now.
We are. I gotta press that.
Right. I'm glad you did. No, you're right. You're right, because even when you Google the Matrix, so many things come up, like websites, related topics. Like, it's just a plethora of things that show up, and even the Wikipedia page has got like 14 or 15 spin-off pages from the main page, you know, on everything. And that's where I heard about the religion called Matrixism.
Oh God. Well, part of that is the Wachowskis. They're big on references. And so there's a lot in The Matrix that is very specifically referencing different philosophers.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And it is very heavy-handed.
Oh, baby.
And, listen, Wachowskis, you like Lewis Carroll. I get it. Leave me alone. I've read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, too. Fuck you. Anyway,
they also really like Buddhism.
Yeah, they do.
Or trinkets of fortune cookie Zen Buddhism.
Weren't there like 3 books they made all the actors read before they could read the whole screenplay?
I did not read that.
I believe that's true.
That is unbelievable.
Like 3 philosophy books. Like the actors were forced to read them before they were able to accept their parts or something.
I wonder who Keanu Reeves got to read him the books.
Oh, no, Keanu, though, you know that. He's like a heady guy. He's like one of these sort of dumb guys that like is really interested in things like Eastern philosophy or whatever.
Yeah. You know, calling him heady, that's kind of a compliment that I don't think you want to go that far.
I think you could be dumb and heady.
Well, if you're dumb, aren't you by definition thinking you're heady?
No,
really
you can be dumb but constantly thinking. Your thoughts are just stupid.
Okay. Deal.
There are plenty of dumb people that are just blank. Keanu Reeves is a thoughtful dude. His thoughts just aren't smart. Okay. I really almost started this podcast with a song by Dogstar.
Maybe you should have. Well, hey, you still got time.
Yeah. Maybe it's an outro. All right. Yeah, but so a lot of I know Carrie-Anne Moss said she really hated that, like having to read those books.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because trust your actors. Like, it's almost the opposite of like a Woody Allen who just hires good actors and like doesn't talk to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's your scene. Just stand on your mock.
Yeah, the Wachowskis are, you need to understand my film before you appear.
Right.
All right, so I will say I was not disappointed. I don't have the same love and fervor for The Matrix that I did at one point in my life. Mm-hmm. It's certainly not my favorite film of all time. But I still really liked it. I think it's a very good movie.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. I know that you're not going to like it as much as I do, and that's fine. You
don't know that.
No. But like, I'm just saying, like, there's movies I have nostalgia for that hold up perfectly to me today, like the first Scream movie. So that's a movie I felt I had to like really defend. Like The Matrix, I see all its flaws. I still find it entertaining. There's good action and shit. I have a real problem with maybe the first hour of the movie, which is almost entirely exposition.
Yeah.
I have a note I that just says the title of this should have been Exposition the Movie.
Hey, that would have been Buddhist.
Because, like, the thing about this fucking movie is it's clearly intended to have sequels. Right. And it's an origin story. So it's almost doing like the first 50 minutes of like Superman the movie, but that's the whole movie.
Right.
And so it does get exhausting where you know the tagline was, "What is the Matrix?" And this whole movie is just Lawrence Fishburne explaining to you what the Matrix is.
right, and then telling you that you're not ready, and then you are ready, and then maybe you're not ready, and then you are ready, and yeah. My opinion went down, but it really didn't have anywhere to go because I never had like a great affection for the movie, but I never hated it. I was never like, this is stupid, I was never in that camp. I mean, it was always just a interesting movie in terms of the visuals to me, but I did find it significantly less entertaining than I was expecting to.
But I kind of thought that was interesting because I remember The Matrix being a really kinetic, nonstop action kind of movie.
Not really.
And I think it's because of the $63 million budget. And I think maybe the problem with the sequels, in hindsight, and again, we'll watch them this week, I haven't seen them in forever, but was that they had like an unlimited budget to make them.
Right.
And I like that there's restraint in this movie. Like, the action sequences are like gun battles and fist fights, mostly. Mm-hmm. And I think that's cool.
Now, I wanted to get into this real quick, or real long, whatever, because I want your opinion on it. I think when it came out, it was kind of noted by, or wasn't noted by a lot of people, that a lot of the things they were doing visually weren't entirely original, but seemed entirely original.
The visual effects...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. The visual effects they were doing, like the actual computer effects, were very innovative.
Right.
But
the whole slow motion thing...
That's all taken from... And it was noted... I mean, the Wachowskis, I don't think, ever pretended that was original. Mm-hmm. Like, they are noted buffs of, like, Hong Kong cinema.
Right.
And so they hired Yen Wo Ping, who was, like, the top Hong Kong wire work guy at the time.
Oh, okay.
And all the action choreography was done by him. And so it's specifically trying to have the feel of Japanese action movies.
Like an anime.
Even live action. Like,
right. But I mean, like, didn't they love Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, they loved all that shit.
Which I saw in the theater.
You did?
Yeah, it was playing at a midnight showing somewhere when, like, in the midnight, I don't know, when, 96, 97, and I saw it at this artsy midnight theater show. It was cool.
That's weird. But yeah, they like all that stuff, Akira and whatever.
Right.
And that's fine.
And so I don't want to really, when I was watching it, this comes back to, I think, something, I can't remember which movie we were talking about now, but, I don't want to pick on it too much for that because, it's not fair now to, like, look at in 2016 and see how many cool action movies there are and be like, well, that seems so dated at the time. It's like, you could just do that forever. Like, there are some things like the opening of Planet of the Apes, the Charlton Heston one, where they're in the spaceship and you're just like, holy fucking shit. Do you remember that sequence in the beginning of that movie?
Well, no.
Nobody does.
I don't,
because it's horrible. And that's a movie you can pick on for the opening scenes special effects because it came out the same year that Kubrick did 2001.
Yeah.
But, like, this is not... It wouldn't be fair to really knock this movie.
But I actually thought a lot of the visual effects held up for me.
Yeah, no, they did for me, too.
Like, some of them still looked baller.
Yeah.
Like,
they did.
There were a couple that looked bad, like, the Agent Smith splitting at the end or whatever. But,
right.
Some of them were cool. Like, Bullet Time still looks sweet to me. And, like, him jumping off that building and shit.
That was the coolest, I thought that was the coolest effect.
It was cool. And some of the fight scenes were good.
And you know what I like, too? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when he's hanging off the helicopter with Larry Fishburne there, that's a real stunt, is it not?
Yeah, a lot of the...
There's actually flying through the air.
Yeah, a lot of the stunts in this movie were practical because of the budget.
Right.
Again, a problem with the sequels.
Okay.
Yeah, but...
you gotta love that, though. You gotta love that CGI was so expensive then that it was cheaper to risk two human beings' lives and fly them around in a helicopter.
They still do that sometimes just to like get news
I know.
stories, like
And I
Tom
love it,
Cruise in Mission Impossible
Right.
5, was it? 4?
Well,
the Dubai Tower thing?
yeah, and in Mission Impossible 2, in the opening when he's climbing the mountain, that's really him
That's
climbing the
real.
mountain.
That's
Yeah.
a long time ago, though. Oh,
Yeah,
John Woo. Okay.
Yeah.
I think if anything doesn't hold up in this movie, it's really just that cyberpunk aesthetic,
Yeah.
which was such a product of the 90s.
Right.
And this gave birth to a lot more of that, but it's pretty much gone now. And that shit is weird. Like the idea of just like a hacker, you know,
Right,
with like
right.
a code name is
Right.
is stupid. And like, I mean, he's got those like punk guys that come like to his door and give him whatever it is, fucking drugs or something, and and then he goes out with them
Right.
to
right.
a club, and
The same.
it's one of these like cyberpunk clubs that only exist in movies.
It was the same club they used for the Basic Instinct sequence when Michael Douglas.
No, it's not, like, because that is just a bad version of a club. Like, to me, this is like exactly the club you see in like the opening of the first Blade movie.
Right. Very good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And that came out first.
Yeah, it's just like strobe lights and people
Right.
dancing around and fucking Rob Zombie playing.
Yeah.
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 Burn through the witches and slam through the ditches. Yeah, I hurt my voice doing that.
Halloween's Rob Zombie.
The noted filmmaker Rob Zombie contributed some music to The Matrix. I believe the song Dragula.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that stuff doesn't hold up at all.
Well, and you mentioned a reference. You referenced the cyber movie when we covered
Die Hard
Live Free.
4.
Right, Live Free or Die Hard. One of Zack Snyder's buddies who did that.
Oh, sure, Len Wiseman.
And then you asked me what I thought of that whole genre, and so and I told you I didn't like it. But what's funny is that movie was 2007. So it's a little more modern on the whole hacking thing, but it's still, kind of throwing itself in that.
I think the one old-fashioned, stupid, hacky thing in that movie, and hacky, I say regarding hackers, is the Kevin Smith part, because that's what he is.
Right,
He's like a hacker with like a known hacker with a name,
Right.
and I hate that shit. And that's what it is in this movie. It's the guy, something Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Ander. Oh, wait, can we? Yeah, and his name is Neo, and they're all like, I think he's the one, and it's like, yeah, he is. His name is Neo. That's what it means.
Do you think that Hugo Weaving and Lawrence Fishburne went to the same diction coach?
Hang on. I want to do the plot. We're like too deep into this fucking podcast. It's hard to explain, though. Yeah, so like,
I thought we would just kind of cover it as we covered it, but go ahead.
Lawrence Fishburne plays a character named Morpheus, and he recruits a hacker named Neo, and he gives him 2 pills, the red pill or the blue pill. He can either live his life or learn the truth about the world. And it turns out that the world we live in is the Matrix, which is a computer program, and the actual world is run by machines, and we are being used as battery fuel or something. Right? Mm-hmm. It's basically that. So it's like sort of a revolution movie, where it's like a small army of revolutionaries trying to awaken the world to what it really is.
Right. We are all actually asleep. Our physical bodies are asleep, as is the name Morpheus, god of the underworld / sleep. Very subtle references by the Wachowskis.
Do you know what Morpheus was a reference to? It's the least subtle reference in the movie.
Well, I know who Morpheus is, so you can tell me something else, but it's the god of it's Morpheus in the underworld.
Right, but they're specifically referencing Morpheus, the
dream
god of dreams.
Yeah, I know.
In the comic book Sandman.
Oh, right. I read that. Yeah.
And of course, the Wachowskis, being who they are, forced Lawrence Fishburne to read the Sandman comics as reference to his performance. Mm-hmm. And He does a reasonable job. So back to your question about Lawrence Fishburne versus Hugo Weaving. I know what you're talking about. They both have that very staid, stilted type of very rehearsed dialogue reading.
Diction, yeah, diction.
Yeah, in this movie. But I actually thought Lawrence Fishburne held up for me. Like, I actually really liked Lawrence Fishburne's performance. I fucking hate Hugo Weaving. And I've hated him all these years. I hated him when I liked this movie, and I still hate him. And I think he should fucking get on his knees and thank God for the Wachowskis every day for putting him in this movie, because he wouldn't have The Lord of the Rings without this fucking movie. He wouldn't have Captain America without this movie. He's been in so much dumb nerd shit because of the Wachowskis.
He was in there. They produced V for Vendetta, right?
Yep, he's in there.
Yeah, he's V.
He's a terrible actor.
I never really had an opinion on Hugo Weaving. I don't mean to be boring, but I didn't really have an opinion. He didn't really bother me in this movie, unlike Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, that's interesting. So we're the reverse.
I guess
Hugo Weaving didn't bother me that much in this movie, I guess, but it's just in the intervening years. It's the kind of thing where, like, remember, like, when Phantom Menace came out and, like, Darth Maul looked cool, but then he died, and then, like, X-Men came out and the guy who played Darth Maul was in it.
He was? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he plays Toad.
I didn't know that was the same dude.
Yeah, and I remember watching that movie and being like, oh, we're casting this guy and stuff? and that's how I felt when I saw that first Lord of the Rings movie. I was like, oh, that I thought he was just gonna be in the Matrix movie.
I thought he was a British TV actor. What's he still doing in movies?
No, I kind of thought he was like a stuntman or something.
Yeah, stuntman.
Yeah,
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, Fishburne is just one of those actors where I think we talked about him last week as Perry White. Where
we're both hot and cold on him.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to see him lighten up a little bit. You know, it's the role is already, the whole movie is so fucking heavy-handed. A little humor would have gone a long way.
There is humor, though. I actually think Lawrence Fishburne's funny in some of those like training sequences with Neo.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
really?
I think there is humor in the first Matrix movie. I don't remember the second and third ones that well, but like it did make me laugh a couple of times. Like,
it made me laugh too, but not for the same reasons. Yeah, no, it's okay. I don't want to be a dick. There was some uncomfortable spots for me.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
Yeah.
But you know, Lawrence Fishburne, I thought, was a charming presence to have in the movie, and I kind of enjoyed the crew of his ship, the Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
But it's weird that they all die. I forgot that.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember if I remembered that.
There's like 9 crew members at the beginning of this movie, like not including Neo and Trinity and Morpheus. And after the movie, the only one left is this dude named Tank.
Right, okay, I was going to say, I thought that dude made it. Yeah.
He's the only one, though.
It's Joey Pants is a traitor.
Yeah, Joe Pantoliano. That was so funny. I forgot he was in this movie.
Yeah.
I
From Bound.
I know, but I got to him in this movie, and I was like, that's such a weird choice for your cyberpunk thriller. They're like, you know who we should have in this? Joe Pantoliano. He's like, hey, I'm Joe Pantoliano. I'll show up.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want from me? I'm running a bail bonds business at Midnight Run, for Christ's sakes.
Hey, you want me to turn against Lawrence Fishburne? I'll do
whatever you want. Hey, whatever you want.
Do you want me to wear a schoolboy cap? No, because I will.
Get out of here with your Matrix and your Morpheus and your Neos.
Yeah. So Joe Pantoliano, Joey Pants.
Do you want me to help you with that last name there, buddy? You seem to be struggling.
Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah, Joe Pantoliano.
Oh, is that the Italian
pronunciation? Just please leave it to the Italian guy to handle the Italian names, okay?
Fine.
I'll leave the Moskowitzes to you. You leave the Pantolianos to me.
Hey, did we say our names at the start of this episode?
No,
I think
but
we
always
skipped
do.
that.
Who cares? They all know us by now.
I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg.
Yeah, right, all right. If you've been listening by now, I think you're cool, and you probably know who we are. But in case you don't, that's Danny E, and I'm HP. So good to see everybody.
Hanky Paps.
Yeah.
All right.
So Joey Pants.
Joey Pants in this movie.
You know what I was happy about? I was able to get back to with this movie was I missed it for whatever 1,000 episodes we were covering Superman. We got to go back to the superhero count, Henry's special superhero count.
Oh, okay.
Might as well throw that out there right now. I'm not done. Yeah, got 3.
Well, okay. Can I try?
Yep, please.
Joe Pantoliano as Ben Urich in the Daredevil movie.
You got it.
Okay, that's one.
Making our second Ben Urich in this podcast.
Who's the first?
Now I'm really testing you.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't remember what movie the Daredevil one, like the Netflix one, was in.
Bondi Curtis Hall and Die Hard 2.
Oh, that's true. Oh, and he's so good in Die Hard 2. Okay. Yeah. I love that actor.
All right, yeah, me too.
All right, who else in The Matrix?
Well, you got Joey Pants.
Yeah.
You got Larry Fishburne. Perry White.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And you got another Daredevil person.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay, who?
Ariane Moss.
Oh, that's right. She pops up on Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
Yeah, and presumably will on Luke Cage or Iron Fist, maybe.
Could be. Yeah, I've always been sort of confounded why Carrie-Anne Moss didn't have a bigger career after The Matrix.
I agree with you.
She's very good, and
she's my MVP.
Okay, and that's perfectly viable. I think she's really fantastic, and I've like mostly seen her like doing guest spots on television.
Yeah, it's weird,
and that's not good enough for her. Yeah, she had a little arc on Chuck in like the last season. Like
she was in Memento.
Yeah, I know. Well, she got a couple of roles right after The Matrix.
Right.
I think like if The Matrix came out today, like Hollywood seems to be better at trying to give like breakout actresses chances.
Mm-hmm.
So like if The Matrix came out today, she might be getting some of the same shots that like Alicia Vikander or Daisy Ridley are getting.
But you know what else? And I don't know if you'll agree with this or not. You may vehemently disagree with this. Carrie-Anne Moss was one of the last times we were going to give older females a role like this, and we weren't just going to go to a 20-year-old.
I don't disagree with that. And
yeah, I mean, she was like in her early 30s when she got this role, and that's great because she's a fucking adult. And now, if they made The Matrix, they'd probably pick some 18-year-old kid and throw her in the leading woman role.
I know.
And honestly, that goes for Keanu too. They probably would have picked.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
It'd be Shailene Woodley. It'd be Shailene Woodley and Miles Teller.
There you go. There you go. So you agree?
Yeah. It's nice to think that maybe if The Matrix was made today, Trinity would be like Rachel Weisz or something.
Right. Sure.
But probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. But I love Carrie-Anne Moss in this movie. Although there's a real shoehorned love story.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking? Like at the end.
Well, it's not even right. It comes out of nowhere.
At the end, Neo and Trinity kiss. You don't need that. It's okay not to have a love story in The Matrix.
Well, they worked it in so they could fit in why she would have fallen for the Oracle's prophecy that she would fall in love with the one.
But that's stupid.
So, I agree.
It could have just been that, like her belief in the one grows greater. Like,
right.
it should just be a belief story. It doesn't need to be a love story. I wonder if that was a studio note. That doesn't seem like something... The Wachowskis are not interested in love stories.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah.
I've seen Speed Racer. Do you want to talk about other Wachowski movies real quick?
Yeah, and I didn't want to forget about Mr. Fishburne either, but yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Just his career. It's an interesting career. And your opinion on his acting and roles and all that kind of thing.
Well, I think Lawrence Fishburne's a really good actor. I thought he was very dynamic when he was young. like when he was very young.
Yeah,
like
I
in
agree.
Boys in the Hood or something.
Right.
But I do think as he's grown older, he needs a script to have some levity in it.
Yes, I agree.
I don't love that show Blackish, but it's kind of a joy to watch him just having fun on that show.
Right.
Instead of just being weirdly method or whatever he's doing in
Right.
those movies.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the thing is, looking at his filmography, he's just made a lot of potboilers, like a lot of potboilers, and it kind of started in the '90s with him, with like after Boys on the Hood, Boys in the Hood. Oh, with like deep
The
cover.
Boys on the Hood are the Dukes of Hazzard.
Just the good old boys. Yeah. Higher Learning, Bad Company, Just Cause.
I like Higher Learning, okay.
Fled.
Oh, that's bad.
Another cult sci-fi, Event Horizon.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I actually find that movie more entertaining than The Matrix.
Oh, that's not fair.
No, it's not as good. No, it's not as good as The Matrix, but I think it's more interesting.
That's possible. It's certainly gorier and more fucked up.
Osmosis Jones.
Saw it in theaters.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He was in Mystic River, which I don't remember at all.
I don't remember that
him in
either.
that. But, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. But yeah, I want to see him do some lighter stuff. I think I do like him. And, Apocalypse Now is in my top, I'd say, 3 movies of all time.
He's in Apocalypse Now?
Dude. Well, some of our listeners are going to be scolding you for
Oh,
that.
my God.
Dude, he's clean, man. He's Tyrone Miller. He's clean, Mr. Clean.
He is?
This is the 3rd movie he ever did, but the first one he ever was noticed in. Yeah, he's on the crew boat with Martin Sheen.
No, I know who you're talking about now. I never knew that was Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's clean and he's great.
I've only ever seen that movie once.
That's insane.
I know.
I just told
not
you.
true. I've seen it twice because I saw the redo thing.
Redux.
Yeah.
It's my top 3 favorite movies of all time. I don't think you heard me the first time, or I would have expected a bigger reaction.
I didn't hear that. It's not even in my top 3 favorite Coppola films of all time.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So that's enough about Larry Fishburne. I'd like to see him do a Judd Apatow movie.
Well, I would too. I think he has good comic timing. I think sometimes he's like working too hard.
I agree.
And
you know what he's great in? I'm glad I remembered this. He's great in Hannibal. The
he
TV
is
show.
great in Hannibal, and I think he's looser in that show. He's having a better time. Like the scenes at dinner when he like goes to Hannibal's house for dinner. He seems to be having fun, and I like that.
Yeah, that's a really good show, by the way, listeners. If
Fucking great show. Hey, we shit on like movie to TV adaptations. Hannibal's a contender for best one ever.
Yeah, it's really, really, really good.
Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is the actual answer. But
nice save. All right. So go ahead. Do you want to talk about the Wachowskis?
Well,
so
just
ahead.
like what other Wachowski movies have you seen other than the Matrix movies?
I have only seen, besides the 3 Matrix movies, Bound and Cloud Atlas.
I've never seen Cloud Atlas.
I liked it.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember
watched that.
I don't remember why I watched that, but I did, and I made it through, and I remember being impressed. I remember being like, maybe I watched it because it was them. And I remember liking it. It's been a few years, but I remember being surprised. That was talk about a polarizing movie. Like that was, yeah. But I don't know. Am I missing anything? Because they didn't direct that many more than that, did they?
Yeah. Well, not many more, but I've seen 2 other Wachowski movies.
Oh, Speed Racer. I didn't see that.
Speed Racer is a big time recommend for me.
Oh.
I've been saying this for years. It's stupid and it knows it, but it's the most visually exciting movie they've ever done.
Whoa.
Wow. Every 5 minutes, you're going to see something in Speed Racer you've never fucking seen in a movie before.
Wow. Okay.
It's awesome.
All right.
On the other hand, I also saw Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, right. You did indeed. I had no interest. Yeah.
A rare time I didn't make it through a movie.
Oh, you didn't even make it.
Mm-hmm. I shut it off after about 50 minutes, something like that.
You made it to like what, Mars, Venus, and then but you couldn't make it all the way to Jupiter, huh? You got like
something like that, yeah.
halfway through the solar system. You were like, turn this ship around.
It was really, really bad.
That's got a bunch of stars in it too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got the Tate, and it's got Mila Kunis.
He means Tatum O'Neal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, a lot of people are in that movie, and it's just bad. It's just terrible. But a lot of people have said good things about their Netflix show Sense8.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, but I haven't watched it. I skipped it because it came out like 3 months after Jupiter Ascending. And
Yeah,
I was it was sort of, Jupiter Ascending was like my funeral for the Wachowskis. Like, all right, I'm not seeing movies because the Wachowskis made them anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, you've given them, 17 years, so I mean, that's
Yeah.
okay. You know, that's all right.
I've fucking seen everything they've ever written, produced, or directed other than Cloud Atlas, which just sort of floated by me for some reason.
Floated by you.
Oh, good one. That was an unintentional joke.
So what else are they involved with? A ton of other stuff? Are there producing credits like out the wazoo?
I don't know.
or
V
not
for
really?
Vendetta was the big one. I don't
Right.
think they do that much. But,
Okay.
you know, and even when The Matrix came out, they were exciting to watch in terms of sort of the influences they brought into it, but they weren't that original in terms of like the visual style of non-special effects scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I watched this movie and there's a lot of 7 era David Fincher in there.
Ooh. You're right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like especially on what is not real Earth, but they think is real Earth. When he's like walking in the rain and shit. You mean like that stuff?
Yeah,
getting
absolutely.
out of the car and good call.
And there's even more early Alex Proyas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure.
For sure.
The Wachowskis had seen The Crow and Dark City when they made this movie.
Yeah, this movie did make me think of Dark City a lot.
Yeah. And I like The Matrix more than Dark City because the Dark City's a movie that's like has a lot of good ideas but isn't really a movie. And
yeah, I was never like a big fan, but I think I do like it more than The Matrix. I think I do.
Okay. The Matrix, on the other hand, is a movie that has no plot, but a lot of ideas, and it wants to tell you them. And ultimately, that leads to some pretty cool action sequences. I remember before I had a DVD player, my cousin Peter, who you've met.
Oh, yeah. Great guy.
He brought over his DVD player to my parents' house, and he was like, "You gotta check this out. It's so much better than VHS." And
that's kind of awesome.
And the test scene he chose to show me was the scene where Trinity and Neo show up at that tower with all those guns.
Right.
That big gunfight sequence.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh my god, DVD is the future."
You were right.
I kind of, but
sure.
Yeah, digital was certainly the future.
Digital, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I'll always remember that. That was like my introduction to like digital technology.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this is a pretty good movie to have that be an introduction, I guess. In terms of special effects.
Yeah.
I remember my first real introduction was an old buddy of mine showed me a laser disc of Apocalypse Now, actually. And he specifically chose the scene when the chopper was landing with all the different smokes and gases. There were red and yellow and green and blue right when they're landing to Robert Duvall. Do you remember that
No,
scene?
no, I do, yeah.
And he showed it to me specifically for like the colors and how crisp and pure they were.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was pre-DVD. That would have been like in 96 or 97.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
but anyway.
remember. Yeah, I love that the DVD commentary of Mallrats is taken from the Laserdisc, which had already come out, and it opens with Kevin Smith saying "fuck DVD."
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
I love that.
Why does he say that, you think? Is he
I don't know.
upset?
He
You
was-
think he's
he-
actually upset at the change?
No, not at all. But I think like he says, like he had a huge Laserdisc
Oh,
collection.
sure.
He was like a devotee of the Laserdisc.
Well, shit, I was of the videos. My God.
Yeah, mine
I mean,
too.
I
Yeah.
understand.
I had a
Yeah.
lot of VHS tapes. Gave them all to you eventually.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well beyond when I already had a giant DVD collection.
That's true.
I was still watching videos.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I mean, do you have anything else to say about The Matrix?
What
was your favorite action sequence? Like, fight scene?
Probably, I don't know, maybe in the subway when it's just Mr. Anderson and the agent. I like that.
That
because
is so funny to me, that sequence, because
I'm not. Well,
sorry.
let me
go ahead.
No, it's
go
okay.
ahead.
No, it's okay. Because I'm not real big on the bullet time thing at the end. That's not real. I found it very boring. I got to be honest with you.
Oh shit! Okay, I was
a
into
lot of that shit got me bored. Like the earlier sequences in the movie that were filled with action, I found cooler. I just didn't. The last sequence it's just a gunfight and it's just thrown in slow mo essentially, and I just didn't really care.
I think it's cool, and I like the shit with the helicopter a lot.
I did too.
But,
That was the one part. Yeah.
But I actually think the subway fight's my favorite too.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were going to make fun of me.
No,
Because
not at all. I think it's funny though, just because it looks like they're in a fucking level from Street Fighter. Because they're just on a subway platform, and every so often a train goes by.
True.
And it's like, you
It's
know,
like Double Dragon.
no, it's like Street Fighter because they're in a confined place. Like Double Dragon was like a side scroller, so they're going all along, like you're traveling.
Yeah. Boy, you
Like,
remember that, huh? Okay.
Yeah, whereas like
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter were just fighting games. So you're
Oh my God, I used to love Mortal Kombat.
Sure, but so you
Yeah.
remember you're in just like
Yep.
a set area and you're
Yep.
fighting each other.
Like Soul Calibur, same thing.
Soul, yeah, sure, of course, yeah, or
Yeah.
Tekken or whatever.
Right.
But or a million other games.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But like that's what it reminded me of. Like there's a bit in I have X-Men versus Street Fighter for PlayStation.
Uh-huh.
And there's like one level where if you like fight too hard, you'll like fall through the ground and like go below onto like a subway platform.
Okay.
And like I was watching The Matrix and I was like, "Oh, it's that level from X-Men versus Street Fighter."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other cool stuff in it. I mean, there's plenty
I
of...
did like Joe Pantoliano's heel turn. That genuinely took me by surprise. I hadn't seen the movie in a long enough time that I forgot that was a twist.
So, wait, so you knew it was coming, though?
No, I
You
didn't. I forgot.
You completely forgot that was... See,
Yes.
I totally was waiting for it. I
No,
was like,
I
I just
forgot.
didn't remember when. Yeah, because I remember the scene when he's like at the dinner table with them and he's eating a steak.
And that's a
And I
good
was-
scene.
It is a good scene, and I remember thinking, when is that scene coming? Because he turns on everybody, and I just didn't remember when. But wow, you forgot.
I totally forgot about that. And I really like the stuff early on in the movie, the sort of claustrophobic Neo stuff when he first gets captured and like his mouth goes away and then he wakes up.
That is cool.
There's a
I
lot
agree.
of weird sequences. You know who, like, Keanu Reeves really had to master waking up acting for this movie.
He's still trying.
Yeah, I know. I feel like he's constantly just opening his eyes from a reclining position in this film.
Bodie, man.
Yo, we should do
Johnny
the Bill and
Utah,
Ted
man.
Movies.
Oh, that'd
be a
fun.
good one-off episode.
That's a one-off right there. Yeah. Bill and Ted, Keanu, Point Break, Speed, and
Well, Speed.
You know,
Speed's
why
a
does
good
he-
one for the show too.
He works for me better in Speed than he does in The Matrix. I'll just say that right now.
Because The Matrix is a movie with a point of view and a brain. And no, and I love Speed. I actually might like Speed more than The Matrix.
I'm sorry, I'm going to say this right now. I like Speed a lot more than I like The Matrix.
Okay. To me, it's close. I think Speed's a great movie, though. First rated R movie I ever saw in theaters.
Okay.
But that movie is a real, like, action. It's like a 90s action movie, you know? Like,
Yeah, but it holds up.
It
I
might
saw it
as well
recently.
be Steven Seagal.
No.
I mean, it's better than that. But
No, because Steven Seagal always has, besides being a terrible actor, he always has this invulnerability that he will not allow anyone to punch him in any
Very
movie
true.
ever in. And Keanu gets the shit kicked out of him constantly in
you
that
mean
movie.
Jack Traven? I remember that.
Love those action hero names.
Yeah. No, I love Speed, but
I like
that's
it-
a movie that's just about, you know, full speed ahead action.
I feel like in The Matrix, if they would have gone another direction with with another actor, I think it might have helped the movie a little bit. The movie already has enough heavy-handedness going through the script and the direction and the acting with Fishburne that if they would have gotten an actor who was a little less dopey, you know.
I was okay with it. I think Keanu Reeves is a great movie star. You know, anytime they put him in something where he has to act, it's weird. Like,
That's one of the strangest sentences you've ever said on this
Well,
podcast.
I love him.
You called Bruce Willis barely a movie star like a month and a half ago.
Well, but
Come
Keanu
on.
Reeves has this weird ability to, every time his career is like going down the toilet, he'll find like one movie to resurrect it.
Hey, John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick most
That
recently.
was fun. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it.
It's fun.
We'll do it for the podcast when that sequel comes out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I love Keanu early on in like River's Edge, which we've talked about because of Crispin
Point
Glover, and My Own Private Idaho.
Yeah.
But after that, like post Bill and Ted, really, like every time they tried to put Keanu Reeves in a movie where he's supposed to act, it's really weird to me.
Yeah, well,
And
you're right.
I mean, how bad is he in Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Oh my God.
And even in something like It's Complicated, the Nancy Myers movie,
I didn't see that.
like he doesn't work in that context.
Boy, I forgot about his performance in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
He's so bad on that movie, dude.
You got, on the one hand, you got one of the greatest actors of all time, Gary Oldman, chewing up a storm. But it's fucking
one of my
Dracula.
favorites.
So
yeah.
Who, Gary Oldman?
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
He's
me
a
too.
contender. Like, I don't know who my favorite actor of all time is. I said earlier in the podcast, like a bunch of episodes ago, it was 80s Crispin Glover. And there's
Yes,
some
you did.
truth to that. But
Mine's always been Jack Nicholson.
I won, like, a couple summers ago. It was when we were living together. I watched, like, on consecutive weeks, The Professional and True Romance. And I was like, Gary Oldman's the fucking best actor.
He is. He's phenomenal. And because when I say my favorite, it's also, we've always had this conversation, which would be fun sometime too on the podcast. My favorite versus the greatest. And the great. I mean, Gary Oldman is. I mean, there is no. You could easily, with lots in your corner, argue he's the greatest actor of all time. I really think you could.
He's one of those, yeah. It's like him, Brando, De Niro.
I'll take him
Daniel
over fucking
Day-Lewis.
Brando any day of the week.
Yeah, you have a weird thing with Brando.
Daniel Day-Lewis, by the way, forgot about him. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get off on a huge tangent, but yeah.
I love that we started this tangent on the greatest actors of all time by talking about Keanu Reeves. Okay, I only have like two more things on The Matrix, actually.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, the score is bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah.
weird. Like, and I looked up the
Very
guy.
good.
I looked up the composer.
He's a nobody.
He's a real nobody. He's like only done Matrix shit, and like since the Matrix trilogy, he's only done like Matrix video games and shit.
Yeah. Well, the score is serviceable for what the movie is doing, but it's so derivative that
But it could be better. Like, think about if they got like the Dust Brothers to score this movie.
Yeah,
that would have been fucking baller.
Or shit, man. They could have even if Hans Zimmer would have done something interesting with it. I'm sure.
Well, I feel like they wanted
percussive stuff,
but they wanted that like electronic feel.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like you needed someone like that, but I think, like, the Dust Brothers or the Crystal Method or, like, the Prodigy even.
For people who don't know about what the Dust Brothers have actually scored as a movie.
Fight Club.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not, I don't know if that's, like, common knowledge.
Maybe not, but, I mean, they were big at the time. They had had recently produced Odelay for Beck, which was, an amazing album.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so I wanted to bring that up because this is a shit score.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm the score man.
This might be like the most undistinguished score of any movie we've covered on this podcast.
I'll
take Alexander Courage over this.
For those who was that Superman 3?
I believe that was 4.
4, okay. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, but he at least had the crutch of John Williams themes to fall back on.
Good point.
Probably one of those final diehards. That was probably the...
Yeah, maybe that like 5th one.
Yeah, that was probably reaching the bottom of the barrel score-wise. Who shot the movie? Who shot this movie?
Oh, I don't know. I can look that up in a minute.
Go ahead.
Because I feel like whoever shot this movie probably went on to direct something. Like, it was such a big movie. You know
probably
what I mean?
Right. This guy knows how to shoot bullet time. Give him a movie.
I think they got, like, that dude Yen Wo Ping, who did the fight choreography, went on to direct something.
Oh, okay, but he didn't shoot the movie.
No, he just did the
it's
fight choreography.
It's somebody else who I wasn't.
Yen Wo Ping, by the way, like a year later, did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, cinematographer. Fella named Bill Pope. Let's see.
I know that name.
He's directed... interesting. He's directed mostly music videos, but he recently directed that Cosmos miniseries.
Oh.
Yeah.
But what did he shoot? What's his cinematography credits?
Most recently, The Jungle Book and the pilot of Preacher. I'm into this guy.
Oh, what else prior, though? I'm talking like 90s, 2000s.
Scott Pilgrim.
Okay.
The Spider-Man movies.
That's where I know his
2
name.
and 3, not the first one.
Okay.
He was the director, the DP on Freaks and Geeks.
Whoa, look at this guy. I'm glad I brought it up.
I'm glad I brought it up. Hey, he was the DP on Team America.
Which I didn't see till you made me watch.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
This guy's amazing.
Okay, there you go, Bill Pope.
Yeah. His next film was the new Edgar Wright joint. I guess he works with that guy a lot now. Because he did Scott Pilgrim and The World's End. Okay. Lastly, I want to say while the score was not good, the songs were. I let the closing credits run all the way through.
I did too. I did too.
Are you kidding me? We're opening with "Wake Up" from Rage Against the Machine's first album.
Yeah.
And then segueing straight into Rock is Dead by Marilyn Manson. I'm fucking down, bro.
Yeah. I'm not a fan, actually, of Marilyn Manson at all.
I'm a fan of, like, 2 years of Marilyn Manson's career, and that song happens to coincide with them.
I think I give it a lot of credit because of the Rage thing. Because
it ends with that. Like, Neo flies off and fucking Rage Against the Machine is playing. It's baller.
Okay, let me clarify that. That's what I really, really liked. That was right. I thought that was Rage at the very end of the movie. Yes. That was amazing. I agree. Phenomenal
really cool.
choice. Great way to end.
Yeah, and
even though that last shot is really dumb. By the way.
Oh, yeah, no, I kind of agree with that. I think I even thought it was dumb at the time.
Why did they do that?
I think maybe Warner Brothers wanted to make it a superhero franchise or something. But
I meant like in the script. Do you think it was like we can show that he's mastered his powers of, controlling space and all that shit?
I don't even know if it was in the script. I think I get the sense that maybe they just needed like a final punctuation on the movie or something.
I bet you I know who was responsible for it. A man whose name did not come up one time during this particular episode.
Oh. Are you talking about the semen-stained carpets of Joel Silver?
Yeah, that's who I meant.
Yeah. Joel Silver produced this movie. Good for
Yes,
him, by the
yeah,
way.
man.
A stab at relevance late in
Come
his
on.
career.
Right.
Yeah.
that's the name of his autobiography. Just a stab at relevance.
Yeah.
Joel Silver.
A stab
My
at
life
relevance.
My
or a
life on the
start.
Hollywood couch.
Yeah. Yep.
Joel Silver.
Janet Jackson didn't want to fuck him, so Carrie Ann Moss. No, I'm sure he was past that phase of his career at this point.
He was already 95 or something.
No, because he tried to like. I think he's still trying to produce movies. Like, but I think the Matrix trilogy was kind of his last hurrah.
Oh, was it?
Like that was like his last hit.
Mm.
Yeah, he still
Well, the
produces.
year before, because the year before he did the final abysmal Lethal Weapon, I believe. 98.
Oh, sure.
was
Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah,
Saw it
yeah.
in theater. Only Lethal Weapon.
So
I've
did
seen
I.
in theaters.
Me too.
Weird. We'll get to
Yeah.
that on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap up.
Yep.
Rate this film.
I'm gonna go with 3 stars.
That's fair. I'm gonna go 4.
Okay.
And MVP.
Carrie Ann Moss, LVP Keanu Reeves.
Oh, poor Keanu.
Sorry, man. Whoa. I can't. I just eat that. I really have nothing against the guy. I really don't. It might have sounded earlier like I did, but
No, you didn't. It was a fair analysis.
yeah, he come on.
There is a big time whoa in this movie.
Well, this is the movie after Bill and Ted where he does it, and in Point Break where he does it, where I think like everyone this took off that whole
Yeah. Whoa is to Keanu Reeves what all right is to Matthew McConaughey.
Right. All right. Very good call. Yeah.
My MVP, I'm gonna go with Lawrence Fishburne.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow.
And-
I just wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. And my LVP, Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, that's no surprise there.
Why me? What are you talking about?
While doing an American accent, maybe another one of your examples of
Well,
somebody
I'm not sure
focusing on the acting.
I'm not sure I knew he was British, so that explains it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's trying real hard for something. I just don't know what. All right, so we'll be back next week with our coverage of The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, with special guest star Nathaniel Safran, my former co-host of Surviving Survivor.